So welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today I will be reviewing Dead Silence. Make sure you go check out my previous video as well. Hope everyone is having a great spooky season. And today, that's right, Dead Silence, the James Wan classic, Dead Silence. This is a killer doll movie to a extent. I'm not going to spoil it because a lot of people have not seen this movie, which is very surprising because James Wan is a big name in horror right now, and this is starting to get a fan base, and they even sell the dolls on Trick or Treat Studios, and I want that doll. Point is, as much as I love this movie, I never seen the unrated version. I need to get this on Blu-ray, by the way. But point is, love this movie. The basic premise is this couple. They're a happy couple, whatever, and they get a knock on their door. A weird package shows up, and in that weird package is a ventriloquist doll. Yeah, right there's a red flag. You don't mess with weird dolls. You just don't do that. That's like a horror rule. But her boyfriend takes the doll in. They lay it on the couch, and the jaw drops on the ventriloquist doll, aka Billy, Mary Shaw's puppet. Mary Shaw only. I don't remember the rhyme. Like, Mary Shaw only had dolls. Mary Shaw had no children, only dolls. If you see her, make sure you never ever scream. Something like that, right? This movie, love it. Billy, I think this is an iconic doll. Like, it's really interesting because, like, I remember seeing this like as a kid, like way before I got this on DVD, like it premiered on HBO Max, not HBO Max, excuse me, just like the regular, HBO Max, but it appeared like on Showtime, I believe, like back in the day, like in late 2008, like around the time that it premiered on HBO. But point is, I remember seeing this as a kid, and it freaked me out as a kid, and not knowing like if it was gonna be like a Chucky, like a Dolly Dearest, dolls type of movie. Like, I didn't know if it was gonna be like a killer doll type of movie, but it's a supernatural killer doll movie. I think James Wan is a master modern day horror director. Some great cinematography, he's directed very well, and strangely enough, this never got a sequel. And I'm about to explain that why in the next portion of the video, if you stay tuned. But Dead Silence, love this movie start to finish. A very catchy, like nursery rhyme, little folk tale in this movie. I think it's really cool. Again, Mary Shaw, it's iconic. Billy's iconic. One of my favorite scenes, iconic moments, is when the flashback episodes happen and you see Mary Shaw in her prime with Billy on the stage. That's an eerie scene. Like, again, I remember seeing that, seeing as a kid, and didn't know like if Billy was alive. Like, yes, of course, you kind of started to piece all the pieces together that it was Mary Shaw controlling Billy, but still, you kind of had that in the back of your mind, like, is someone else controlling Billy? Like, again, like, I'm not gonna lie, I still kind of think that. Like, yes, I know, like, Mary Shaw, like, think about this, like, I know Mary Shaw was controlling all these dolls, especially Billy. Like, Billy was, like, her favorite. Like, I was the star of the show. But the way Billy acted, like, just the way that Billy acted, his voice, his movement, like, yeah, again, it was Mary Shaw. But I like to think maybe there was another, spirit in Billy, and more of a vengeful, more of a sinister spirit than what Mary Shaw is. That's what I think, at least, because I think that's so interesting. I hear no one talk about that. That's a theory that I think that there was somebody else in Billy. And if they ever make a sequel to Dead Silence, I still think there's a chance of a sequel. If they ever make a sequel to Dead Silence, I would like that to be explored. Like, I would like that to be the twist of part 2, if it ever happens, where, come to find out, Billy was pulling some of the strings, and it wasn't all Mary Shaw. It'd be really cool and very interesting, I think. Like, basically, like, Mary Shaw and this other spirit that's in Billy are, like, teaming up. Don't give, like, Billy, like, a personality, like Chucky or anything like that. Keep him the way he is, but just have that as a twist that comes out. That'd be really cool. But point is, I love Dead Silence. Some very iconic or memorable moments. Like I keep saying, James Wan's a master at what he does. Some great cinematography. These are the same people that brought us Saw. This was James Wan's second horror movie, I believe. He was, right off the success of saw, so he decided to make this, and sadly this was a flop at the box office, which is ironic to me. If this would have came out today, it would have been a success. 3 movies, 2 more movies would have already been most certainly definitely made. A lot of people don't know about Dead Silence is there was actually a sequel in development. The script has not been leaked online or been brought to us online, but a sequel was written, supposedly, and ready to go in production, but the movie was a flop, and the writer just didn't want to make it. Like, he was very frustrated with the success of this movie. I found it interesting because I have not really seen James Wan speak vocally about this movie. I've always heard and seen the writers speak out about this movie, and that's kind of interesting. Like, why don't but regardless, they think but it's interesting because if I ever got to ask James Wan that question, would you consider a Dead Silence sequel today if your schedule's freed up? Because think about it, Dead Silence has a fan base now. This movie is getting a fan base every day. If it's getting a fan base every day, why not bank on that? Again, I don't know if anybody else, can talk. Universal owned the rights to this, so I don't know if they don't own the rights anymore. But but if they don't, I could see Blumhouse picking it up, or somebody like that. Because Universal owns Blumhouse, I could see them just passing it on the Blumhouse. But I feel like that's really interesting. Like, I would ask James Wan that, would he consider doing a sequel? Like, I'll be totally down with a sequel, only if it's a good story and it adds on to this movie, and it adds on to the mythology of Mary Shaw and why was Billy her favorite and all that. Like, all that mythology I love. Like the clown, like the clown doll in Dead Silence. That clown doll was freaky. They also said that clown doll, I want that clown doll too. Like, all that, I would love so many things explained. I think this actually could be a like 4 to 5 movies, but I love Dead Silence. I think it's and it has like a Saw type of twist at the end. Again, I would love to have seen that brought to a sequel, but I wonder, like, if we got a sequel to this, would we have still got Insidious? I think we would have still gotten I still think we would have gotten Insidious, but I think it would have came out like a year later or in the same year as Dead Silence 2. But if Insidious never happened, what would I pick, Dead Silence 2 or a Insidious? I would pick Insidious, like, because I don't know like how Dead Silence 2 would turn out. And to me, Insidious is another James Wan classic, so I'll pick Insidious. If like we're talking about like back then, I'll pick Insidious. But yeah, it says you scream, you die. That's right. Love Dead Silence, start to finish. Really good movie. It's a very, very overlooked movie. And I think one thing was, this came out in 2007. This came out in 2007. So like around that time, a lot of remakes was starting to happen. I said it in tons of videos. 2003 and from 2010 was the golden years of remakes, I like to say. Yes, we still get good, solid remakes like It, Child's Play remake. But what ruined that whole remake, golden period was the 2010 Nightmare on Elm Street. You can't, off top, you can't deny there was some really solid remakes. All around that time, like the Fright Night remake, that was good, and etc. But back on topic, I think a lot of original movies like Dead Silence was just overshadowed. Then you had that whole writer's strike that was going on, I think like in 2008. So it was really hard to like do stuff for the movies, and it was just But yeah, let me know your thoughts of Dead Silence in the comments below. I wonder how many people have seen this movie and how many people haven't. If you've seen this movie, let me know your thoughts on it. I try to stay spoiler free on this, even though this movie came out in 2007, and this movie still holds up, with all the facts and all that. It's crazy that a big majority of people don't know who Billy is. They don't know about this movie. Oh, and there's also a Saw reference in it. If you've seen the movie, let me know if you caught it. Yeah, love Dead Silence. Make sure you smash the like button, please subscribe, hit the notification bell to never miss a single upload. Let me know your thoughts of Dead Silence in the comments below. Catch you guys in the next video.